Today on Ballistic Burgers, we're going to be testing out the burger patty maker from Viver. Let's get going. All right, so Viver approached me and asked me if I'd do a review of their burger patty maker. And disclosure, I am not working for them. They are not paying me for this. They did give me this burger patty maker for free, but these are my opinions. I'm under no obligation to pump this thing up. If I don't like it, you're going to know. I will tell you that initially I was like, why would I want to do that? It just kind of seems like something that's not real practical for just the everyday outdoor cook. But the more I thought about it, and I was thinking about the Bubba burger videos, you know, the frozen burger videos I did, a lot of interest in that. So this actually makes sense. And having played with it now for a bit, it's actually pretty darn cool. And it's not that big. It's about as big as a small coffee maker. It's heavy enough to where you can tell it's got some quality behind it. It's just under 11 pounds, but you know, it's not difficult to pick up. And I don't think storing this, you know, my place, it's not going to be an issue here, storing this. I think for somebody who's cooking for like maybe their little league teams or, you know, picnic type things, this would be really, really handy. And you're giving them, you know, the guests a lot better burgers than those big stacks of frozen burgers you buy at the store for those type of events that I've cooked before at those events, and they're not really that good. This is going to make some really good burgers. So let's break this down. First off, a lot of 304 stainless steel in this. This is a dish where the burger's going to be formed. This top tray here has your parchments. I'll be showing you how this operates very shortly, but I can tell you that once you develop a cadence, it goes very, very quickly. And you can crank out a lot of burgers in just a few minutes. Now, getting back to these trays, again, parchments, burger patty. Viver's selling this 4 different ways. You can get it with just a specific tray measurement. This is the 5-inch tray. They also have a 4-inch tray and a 6-inch tray for those big burgers. They also sell this to where you can get all 3 at one time. As far as pricing, if you want just a 4-inch patty maker, it's $100, but if you register for their site, which costs nothing, it goes down to $85. And then I'll have a link for additional 5% off down below. If you want just the 5-inch dishes, which is what you're looking at right now, the price is $110. But again, if you register, it goes down to $89. And again, 5% off. If you want all 3 of them, the price is $142. Register goes down to $116. And again, there's that 5% off. If you go with a package that includes all 3 sizes, you're going to get 1,500 of these burger parchments with your purchase. If you go with the individual burger sizes, you're going to get 1,000 of these parchments with each purchase. So that's a good deal. And you can always add on the plates and the dishes if you want to. If you decide, okay, I bought the 5-inch, now I want to make some 6-inch patties, you can add on to that through the site. So let's demo how this works. And I'm going to tell you, it's going to be a little awkward for me because I'm going to be doing some weird reaching around rather than just having it in front of me, you know, making burgers. So of course, we're starting out with that 5-inch plate. So we're going to raise this, grab a parchment, put your burger patty on, press this button right here, it's going to drop. Grab another parchment, add this on top, bring this around, give it a smash. Now, you'll feel the pressure, so you can just, you know, add it until you start getting a little bit of resistance. Then there's your patty. Pretty darn cool. So the meatball I just used for this patty here was 4 ounces. Let me show you what a 7-ounce patty looks like in this 5-inch tray. So again, parchment down, patty down, or ball down, squeeze it, parchment down. So of course you're not going to squeeze very far with the bigger meatball, but there you go. Nice 7-ounce patty. This is beautiful. All right, now I'm going to switch the burger sizes here. And I wanted to point out something. These parchments here, you'll see they have the holes in them and they're round, they're circular. They do not sell these parchments on Viver, but you can buy these on Amazon. I bought a bunch of these on Amazon. They're just a few bucks. And you don't need, like these don't have the holes in them. And I tested it. I don't know why the holes are in there. I'm sure there's a reason. I don't know if it helps them separate, you know, the stacks separate, or if it's just helping the user kind of line this up with the center of the meatball. But you don't need those holes. They really serve no purpose that I can see. So let's go ahead and change out the burger plates here. So pull out this plate, I'm calling it a plate. And this just is threaded in. Now for this top paper dispensing dish, pull out all the parchments. Comes with a little wrench here. It's a 17 millimeter socket. Just give it a little twist here. The new parchment tray, there's a washer that goes on. And you really don't need to torque this down real hard. I mean, all it's doing is sitting here holding your parchment papers. This thing, the smasher, your hand turned bolt here. The new 6-inch smasher plate goes on. We'll get this out of the way. Then that new tray, the 6-inch tray, goes down. Just give it a couple spins here. Then that new 6-inch plate, meat plate, I don't know what it's called, drops right in. So let's make some big burgers. Get those 6-inch parchments loaded into the tray. I will be smashing a half-pound meatball on the tray here, 8 ounces. But before that, you know, I was thinking about the interest that those smashed frozen patties were generating. So I have here a 1/4 ounce patty, a meatball, so 4-ounce meatball. So I'm just going to really give this a good smash. So I'm smashing it all the way down. Like I said, I have not done this. I don't know how big the patty's going to be. I don't know really how far this smasher goes down, but we'll find out together. There's what it looks like. So pretty thin. It's not paper thin, but it's definitely has that kind of smash burger look. All right, we're going for the big one now. Parchment down, gigantic meatball. There we are. That's a big, big patty. And I could have done 8 ounces in that 5-ounce dish as well. It would have been a nice, thick patty. This is a reasonably thick patty. It's not ridiculously thick, but that looks pretty darn good. So really fast, I'm just knocked out a couple of those 4-inch patties. All right, I'm going to do 3-ounce meatballs. And what I'm doing when I'm smashing here is there's a little bit of light, basically, you know, a little bit of a gap between the top smashing plate and the bottom meat holding plate, the tray. And as soon as I can see that burger, you know, you'll see the color come out, then I stop pulling down on the lever. That seems to be making these perfect burgers. So that's beautiful. So you're going to really need a small bun for these. We'll see. And this is 80/20 that I'm smashing, by the way. So again, I was thinking about the popularity of the frozen burgers. And so what I did was I made some 5-ounce patties and I left the parchment on, put them in the freezer just until they got hard, they froze. And then I vacuum sealed them. And the nice thing about this is, you know, those Bubba burgers, the other burgers that I did, burgers from Aldi's or Aldi, they're not vacuum sealed. They're just basically placed in a pouch that is sealed. So they're a lot more susceptible to, you know, freezer burn on the edges. And these will last for a long, long time without getting freezer burn. Anyway, more or less out of curiosity, I want to see how these cook up. So let's hit the griddle. All right, so in the spirit of the Bubba burger, I'm cooking this frozen, see how it turns out. This is actually over 7 ounces of beef right there. Give it a little salt. Now bear in mind, this is almost twice the weight of one Bubba burger. All right, I'm seeing moisture coming up through the surface here and color's coming up more than halfway up the side. So this is that 1/2 pound 6-inch patty. This is the almost 8 ounce, a little over 7 ounces, 5-inch patty. Your typical 1/4 pound 5-inch patty. When I put a fresh patty down like this, I like to give it a little press to just make sure that you get really good contact with that flat top. Then give the spatula just a little twist and pull it off. Here's that little 4-inch patty, 3 ounces. A little salt. You are it. Let's get that patty down. And these are big buns, so that's a nice fit. Some nice, fresh, very thinly sliced onion and some little dill pickles, some mustard, a little Japanese mayo, and a bun. And here we are. So that's that 1/2 pound 6-inch patty. Looks good. So one thing I'm noticing is they're not being overpressed, so they're not, you know, buckling or swelling up. They're not puffing. The one thing that I'm really curious about is that this is the frozen burger. Looks very good. You guys see that? I hope you can. So it's very, very juicy. It's good. The thing I like about this, you know, using that patty maker to mass produce burgers, you know, if you're into the frozen burgers and you want, you know, a freezer full of frozen burgers, or it's good. Or again, if you're in a position where you're going to be doing a picnic or something and really cooking a lot of burgers, you're able to control the quality of your beef, the fat to lean ratio, because honestly, so I've done 3 videos now on frozen burgers, and I don't know, unless I'm missing it, what the fat to lean ratio is. I mean, this is 80/20. So one of the concerns I had when I received this machine was over pressing the meat. You know, is the meat going to be overly pressed? Which is something that I emphasize in my videos when I'm making a burger patty? And the answer is no, because it's, first of all, they're very, very juicy. They're not tough, but they weren't puffing up. One of the indicators that you're overpressing your patties when you're forming your meat patty is when they swell up, because the steam's not escaping, you know, and the water's not escaping, so it's basically blowing up like a balloon. Then the other is, especially with the thinner patties, is that cupping. You know, if again the patties are overpressed, overprocessed, and they're the thinner patties, they'll kind of cup up on you, and that's something that you really see a lot with the like the stacks of frozen burgers you buy, because they're just so overly pressed. I like how I can control the blend of meat. You know, this was 80-20. You can go as lean or as fatty as you want. You can make really beautiful patties with burgers that you grind. And of course, this isn't beef only. You know, you can do your chicken and whatever turkey burgers on there. So this is cool. Anyway, thank you guys for stopping by. Again, I'll have the links down below if you're interested in at least checking these things out. And there is a discount code. It's 5% extra. But again, if you register with the Viver, you're going to get a significant discount. So anyway, thank you guys for stopping by. And if you like to give it a thumb up, then please make sure you leave a comment, whether you liked it or not. I'd love to see what you have to say. See you on the next video. Cheers.